Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku was trained by Jiren. Thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. Before we start, please go support an average JoJo fan for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. Chapter 1, Trust is Worthless. Today, people are born with hostile abilities called quirks. Quirks are superpowers that person awakens in 4 years. However, not everything is as beautiful as it seems at first glance. With the advent of quirks, human society began to lag behind in development. If there were no quirks, people would conquer the stars long ago. You say that quirks are not needed by society, and this is true. But since ancient times, human dreamed of superpowers, and now that dream has come true. Today, seeing a flying person or a huge rhino person is a common thing for every person. However, with the advent of quirks, the percentage of criminal activity has increased. They were called villains. A new profession, heroes, was created to fight them. Heroes save people from villains and other dangerous situations. However, not every person is born with a quirk. At the moment, only 80% of the people's population has quirks. The remaining 20% are born without quirks. The rest of the people who have quirks mock them daily. Quirkless people have a very hard time in life. Such a person can be beaten on the street, but everyone else will not care. At school, they experience enormous persecution, and sometimes they can't stand it and end their lives by suicide. But we are not here to listen to story of these abilities. So I'll start our story. Izuku, get dressed soon. Today we find out what your quirk. Izuku, yeah, today is the day when I can train to become a hero just like All Might, hahaha, he laughed, parodying All Might. In doctor's office. Doctor name? Izuku Midoriya, sir, he said happily. Doctor, so you're Izuku Midoriya, let's see. After he looked at boy's file, his eyes were filled with sadness. Doctor, I don't know how to say it. Inko, what is it, doctor? Doctor, I'm very sorry for your son Mrs. Midoriya, but he is quirkless. He said with sadness in his voice. Inko, what? Doctor, sorry son, but you can't be hero, you need to give up on that. Sorry. Izuku, mommy, why he is lying? He said on verge of tears. Inko, I'm afraid he is telling the truth. I'm skip Midoriya's house. When they came back, Izuku ran towards his room and locked there. Inko was very worried for her son, but he didn't answering. Inko, Izuku, sweetie, please open the door. I made your favorite katsudon. She tried to open the door, but for her surprise, door was opened. She came in her son's room and saw Izuku watching one of his favorite All Might's video. Inko, Izuku, mommy, tell me sniff, can I be a hero just like All Might? Tears poured from Inko's eyes, she ran to her son and hugged him. Inko, I'm sorry my Izuku. I'm very, very sorry my baby. The next day, Izuku, hello Kakin. He said shyly. Kakin, Oh, it's you Izuku. I heard that you went to the doctor yesterday to find out what your quirk is. Izuku, well, I'm quite quirkless. On Katsuki's face appears a very wide and evil smirk. Katsuki, so you don't have a quirk, huh? Then from now you won't be Izuku, but Deku. Izuku, what does it mean? Katsuki, it means useless. Perfect for you. Izuku, please stop, we are friends after all. Katsuki, friends. Hahaha, nobody will ever want to be friends with you. Hey guys, let's teach him a lesson. 2 minor characters, yeah. These 3 began to beat Izuku, and in the end they left him a couple of burns on his face, many cuts, and broke his arm. Katsuki. Alright guys, that's enough. And you Deku, if you appear here again we will break your second hand. He said and walked away, and Izuku remained lying on the ground in tears. 2 days before what happened, unknown location. In some unknown place there was some creature resembling an alien sitting in meditation pose. Jiren, Creature named Jiren opened his eyes and looked around where the voice came from. Turning around he saw a very tall fat creature in a suit like his own. Jiren, what's wrong Toppo? Toppo, we need your help Jiren. Jiren, what help? Toppo, war has begun on our planet, we need reinforcements. I heard in the 7th universe on planet Earth, now people are born with supernatural abilities. Your task will go there and ask for help. Jiren understood. A few moments later Jiren flew away. Toppo. Good luck Jiren. Back to present, Jiren POV. Well, I hope that strong fighters remain on this planet. I wouldn't spend my time here if Son Goku was alive. A very strong fighter who was able to repulse me and was able to help recover from that tragedy, what a heavy loss, irreparable. Smash. Jiren saw a shock wave form nearby. He was curious what could create her. Jiren flew to an exemplary spot and saw 2 people fighting. The first one had yellow hair, very similar to Jiren's costume, and he was very tall. The second wore business clothes and had a mask on his head. The first was already exhausted and the second was ready to finish him off. He already wanted to deliver the last blow, but Jiren managed to protect the blonde in time. Who are you? Jiren, my name shouldn't bother you. Do you want to die? In that case, I will help you. Villain attacked Jiren, he didn't even move. The blow hit, but Jiren didn't even feel it. What? Jiren, I will tell you so, if it was your strongest blow, then you have no chance against me. Jiren pointed his hand toward the villain and fired an energy shot. What was that? Jiren, it's just my power. Anyway, who is the strongest person in this world? We need help. It's me. Jiren, clear. Then I have nothing to do here. What do you mean? Jiren, I flew to this planet in search of strong allies, but judging by what I saw, you obviously do not fit. Why? Jiren, because for people like me, changing landscape with one blow is just children's fun. People like me can easily destroy planets without even sweating. More questions? And no. Jiren, well then goodbye. He said and left. Jiren. Nevertheless, there are no worthy fighters left on this planet, I have nothing to do here. Jiren already wanted to fly away, but one green-haired boy caught his attention. He had cuts and burns all over his body, and his right arm was broken. Izuku, stupid Kakin. I just wanted to be friends with him. Why? Why did they do this? I trusted them, damn traitors. Trust is worthless. Last words greatly surprised Jiren. In this kid, he seemed to see himself from the past. Jiren. This kid. He thinks just like me in the past. Hey kid. Izuku, huh? Izuku turned and saw a creature resembling an alien in black and red suit. Izuku, did you want something, mister? Jiren, kid, what happened to you? Izuku, I FLD down the SS stairs. Jiren, don't lie to me, boy. I heard you say someone's name and say that trust is worthless. Izuku, well, when I was diagnosed as quirkless, my best friend Kakatsuki Bakugo with his lackeys begun beat me up with their quirks. I trusted them and they betrayed me, that's why I think trust is worthless. Jiren. I think I found one, you know, kid, you remind me very much of my childhood. We are somewhat alike. Izuku, really? Jiren, yeah. And until I forget, kid, what is your dream? Izuku, I dream to be a hero just like All Might. I want to save people with unfeared smile on my face. Jiren, interesting goal you have there, hey kid. Izuku, yes. Jiren, do you want me to train you? Izuku, thank you very much, but how? I'm quirkless. Jiren, listen boy, even if you quirkless, doesn't mean you useless. Before you ask what my quirk is, I'll tell that I'm quirkless, or should I say I'm alien. If I will train you, you can destroy planets with only one hit. Izuku, wait. Are you really an alien? Jiren, yeah, my name is Jiren. I'm strongest warrior of 11th universe. If you want I can train and you can be a hero, but with condition that you will be under my guardianship on my planet. There, training will be more effective. Well kid, what do you say? Izuku, if we will on another planet, can I tell my mother about that? She will worry very much if I leave her. Jiren, I just wanted to say this. Yes, you can tell her. Honestly, I wanted to ask you where you live in order to persuade your family members to let you go with me to train. Izuku, well then I accept, Jiren sensei. Jiren, good mood kid. Well then lead. Izuku, yes. I'm Skip Midoriya's house. Izuku, mommy, we have a guest. Inko, what guest? Oh my god, Izuku, what happened to you? Izuku, it's a long story. Never mind, I would like you to meet Jiren sensei. Inko, Jiren sensei. Izuku, yeah. Jiren, nice to meet you, MRS. Midoriya. Inko, me too, Jiren-san. Izuku, mommy, Jiren sensei wanted to discuss one thing with you. Inko, what thing? Jiren, I want take your son on my planet so I can train him. Inko, way I it. Jiren, I know asking someone's mother to give her only son to someone, it's disrespectful, but I see a lot of potential in your son. If I'll train him, he can become someone he wants, hero. I warn you right away that I won't pick him up only for 1 or 2 days. He will train until his power will be equivalent to my or even higher. So if you're okay with this, he can become the strongest hero. So ahead do you say? Inko's flashback. Izuku, mommy, tell me sniff, can I be a HH hero just like All Might? Flashback ends. Inko, I really don't want my only son to move away from me, but any mother wants her child's dreams to come true. So I'm okay with this. But please take care of my son. Jiren, I will, don't worry. Inko, Izuku, my baby. Please be careful. Izuku. Don't worry mommy, I will. She hugged him one last time and then Izuku and Jiren flew away. Inko. Take care of yourself. Time skip 2 days later, unknown location. Izuku and Jiren flew on his planet. Toppo met them. Toppo, well, Jiren, found someone. Jiren, planet Earth is officially unsuitable for cooperation. The best that they can destroy the city with their most powerful blow. Toppo, in this case, everything is clear. And who is this boy behind you? Jiren, this is Izuku Midoriya. I took him to my students. He reminded me very much of me in the past, and also I saw a lot of potential in him, so I will train him so that he has a different fate. He really wants to save people on his planet and also wants to protect those who are dear to him. Toppo, well, greetings Izuku Midoriya, I'm Toppo. Izuku, G, greetings Mr. Toppo. Toppo, no need to be shy. Maybe you tell me about yourself. Izuku, okay. Izuku began to talk about himself to Toppo. During the story, Toppo understood how Izuku reminded Jiren of himself in the past. Toppo, your story doesn't have good start boy, but no further it will be better, I am sure. Izuku yes. Jiren okay Izuku, have a rest today and tomorrow we will begin training. Izuku yes Jiren sensei. Chapter 2. Hello Earth. 12 years later, Inko POV. 12 years have passed since Jiren took my son to train with him. These 12 years were especially difficult for me. My son is all that I live for. I hope he comes back by the way, Inko will be slim. She looked at the photo with her son and remembered the most happiest moments with her son. Izuku, my child. Please return soon. Meanwhile on another planet. Meanwhile near the monument stood a man 6.1 feet tall in business suit watched him for 3 hours. It was Izuku. Jiren the Grey. Proud warrior. Savior. Teacher. Izuku. Sighed. Oppo miss him. Izuku yeah. Maybe he was a strict teacher, but for me he was like a father, whom I didn't have. He gave me this power, and I will do everything to meet his expectations. Flashback. For 12 years, Jiren taught Izuku everything he knew. His power level has become almost equivalent to that of Jiren himself. Izuku then signed up as one of the volunteers for the war, which had been going on for 12 years. In this war, Izuku recognized the bitterness of loss. He lost his teacher. Izuku-sensei. Everyone watched with horror at that villain. But they were more worried about Izuku. He was angry. Before his eyes, his teacher died. And now Izuku was angry. He was very angry. Izuku I will make you suffer he screamed. Finally, this storm of energy calmed down. However, a silhouette was visible at its epicenter. Villain flinched. Izuku didn't give him a second to do anything. He grabbed his head and drove it into the wall. Then Izuku ran, grabbing the head of the villain, still not taking it from the wall. When villain recovered from Izuku's blows, he began try to strike at Izuku, but none of the blows hit the target. Villain why don't you just die and go to your shitty sensei? Izuku what did you said? Villain I said just die already and go to your shitty teacher. Izuku clenched his fists from anger. Izuku you can call me whatever you want, I don't care. But how dare you mention my teacher killed by you? I won't forgive you I won't forgive you. Villain has been thrown back and in order to finish him off, Izuku launches a huge ray of energy. Villain was killed almost immediately by such force. Enemies thought they had already won. But they were mistaken. When Izuku entered the battlefield, their defeat was predetermined. Izuku get lost. All of you. Enemies cowardly fled. Izuku's allies celebrated the victory, they were glad that the war was over. However, it was necessary to honor the fallen comrade. Jiren's death has had a big impact on everyone. The most powerful warrior of the 11th universe fell in battle. But the hardest blow came to Izuku. Jiren was not just a teacher to him. He was like a father to Izuku. For 12 years, Jiren trained little Izuku and during that time Izuku became very attached to Jiren. And he, in turn, became attached to child. This was the reason for Jiren's self-sacrifice. Flashback ends. Oppo what will you do now? Izuku I'll be back on Earth and become a hero, just like I always dreamed. Oppo why don't you stay with us? Izuku as much as I would like to stay, I have to fly away from here. On my home planet, I still have a family that I left. Oppo I understand. Izuku but Oppo, just because I am leaving doesn't mean that I won't visit you. You are like family to me, but leaving you means leaving part of my family. Oppo so that means see you someday. Izuku yes. They shook hands and Izuku flew away. Oppo. Good luck Izuku Midoriya. Time skip 1 day later, Musatafu, Izuku POV. I flew to the Earth in the evening and headed to my hometown to find my mother. Despite training, tracking such weak energy is very difficult. When I was already in city I discovered a huge cloud of smoke and decided to follow it. Arriving at the scene, I saw how heroes stood near the burning buildings, but none of them went there. Izuku. What's going on here? Hamui Wood some slime villain took hostage a boy and now using his quirk to make explosions. Izuku. Wait. Explosions. Why don't you help him? F arms because we don't have right quirk. These words angered Izuku a little. Izuku and what? You suggest just sitting here and waiting for his death. Izuku went inside, despite the heroes who tried to stop him. Lady hey? You will die if you go there. Izuku looked at her with dangerous look. Izuku get lost. He walked in fire and saw a boy losing oxygen he was looking very familiar. Izuku. No, it can't be let him go. Slime villain who are you? Do you really want to die? Izuku 3. Slime villain I think yes. Izuku 2. Slime villain prepare to die. Izuku 1. Slime villain increased in size and attacked first, but Izuku prepared his hand and hit the air with his weakest blow, forming a huge shock wave. Nothing was left of the villain, and on the ground unconscious lay a boy with spiky blonde hair. Izuku carried boy to the ambulance and left, leaving everyone with shocked faces. Meanwhile in Midoriya's house, Inko POV. I was watching channels on TV when I suddenly saw Katsuki-chan taken hostage by a villain. I have to call Mitsu stop. Who is this guy? He looks so familiar. Stop. This suit. These hair. It can't be my boy. Knock knock knock, humming. When I opened the door, I finally saw him for these long 12 years, my son. Izuku, hello mom. I'm home. He said smiling. Inko I Izuku my baby, she cried, hugging him. Izuku, there mom. Don't need to cry. I'm here. Inko, why you sniff came to visit, sniff me? Izuku, no mom, I stay. I won't leave you anymore. Inko. Sniff my baby, I'm so glad you okay, I hope Jiren-san teached you well. Izuku. Saya. Inko, something wrong? Izuku, I'll tell over dinner. Inko, oh god, I didn't cook anything. Izuku. It's okay, I'll make dinner myself. Over the dinner. Inko, so Izuku, tell me how you lived these 12 years. Izuku, well, Jiren-sensei was a very strict teacher, but I didn't complain. Honestly, for these 12 years, I became very attached to him. For me he was something like father figure. At that time, there was a war on their planet and I volunteered for it. Inko, what were you thinking at that moment? Izuku, I wanted to help win this war. But. Inko, but what? Izuku, the price for this victory was too high for me. Inko, what happened? Izuku, in this battle, a particularly strong enemy appeared on the enemy side. I fought with him, but lost and he almost killed me, but Jiren-sensei protected me with his body and died on my arms. Inko, oh god. Izuku, enraged, I didn't notice how intensified and started a second fight with him, where I completely dominated. I didn't kill anyone in this war, because everyone deserves a second chance, but I just couldn't keep that bastard alive. Inko, I'm sorry. I didn't know how hard you had to. Izuku, mom, it's not your fault. Jiren-sensei made me stronger and I will do everything to protect you. I will become a hero. Inko's flashback, little Izuku, mommy, when I get my quirk can I be a hero like All Might? Flashback ends. Inko. And yet you grew so much, Izuku. I remember you when you was little. But now an adult, handsome and tall man is sitting in front of me. I'm very proud of you, my son. Izuku smiled. Inko, well Izuku, I heard that UA entrance exam will be in 10 months, so you need to prepare. Izuku, yes. Time skip 10 months later. Inko, Izuku, you took everything. Izuku, yes mom. Well, I'll go. Inko, and one last thing. Izuku, I'm listening. Inko. Izuku. I'm very proud of you, my son. Do your best. Izuku, yeah, thank you. He said with smile. In UA. Izuku finished the written exam first and waited for the practical part. He was in City Delta. What's the strangest thing is that he was alone. Izuku, so I'm alone here? Then I use my true power. Watch me, Jiren-sensei. I'll make you proud. Izuku quickly flew into the sky and after a couple of seconds was in the middle of city in air. He began to charge energy in his palm. Huge energy ball formed in his hand. But then Izuku squeezed it two very small sizes. He turned his hand to look at the ball and dropped it to the ground. When ball touched the ground it exploded, destroying everything around. An examination room. Nezu, very capable students are present this year. Eraserhead, yeah, but real test will begu. Present Mickey, everyone, we lost connection with City Delta. Everyone, what? Small Might, what happened? Present Mick, and none of the cameras in City Delta are responding. Nezu, show me the record before this. Present Mick showed records from cameras and everyone saw how Izuku destroyed entire City Delta. Midnight W, who is that? Eraserhead. Let's see Izuku Midoriya. Core. Eraserhead's eyes were wide open. Eraserhead, he is quirkless. He said, shocking everyone. Everyone? What? Cementus, but it's impossible. Nezu, if he wants to become a hero, then we are very lucky. Eraserhead, yeah. I think he pass. He said jockly. Everyone, yeah. Time skip few days later, Midoriya's house. Izuku was in his room meditating. Knock knock knock. Izuku, come in. Suddenly his mom burst in his room. Inko, I Izuku, the letter from UA. She screamed while holding his letter. Izuku, thank you mom. He opened his letter and small device flew out. Then device activated and hologram of very bored man was shown. Eraserhead, greetings Izuku Midoriya. You passed written exam with 100%. Practical exam, well, you already know. I'm waiting for you in 2 days in class. You're class 1A. Don't be late. He said and div self-destructed. Inko, well. Izuku just nodded. Izuku, I think after I destroyed the whole City Delta I will definitely pass. Inko, you what? Izuku, mom, I told you that I can calmly destroy planets with one wave of my hand, why are you so surprised? Inko, oh, I almost forgot. Time skip next day. Izuku, okay mom, I left. Inko, good luck son. In UA. Izuku, well I kinda surprised, he said looking at door with class 1 written on it. Hey, put your feet down. Shut up extra or I'll kill you. Asp, how could you threaten you fellow classmate? Their argument was interrupted when Izuku went inside. Everyone began to look at him silently. Izuku, then one of them went to Izuku. Ida, hello, my name is Ida T. Izuku, I don't care who you are. I came here to become a hero, not make friends. Get lost. Whoa. Calm down buddy. We don't want to anger you or something like that. Izuku. Izuku found an empty seat behind a very beautiful girl with black hair tied in a ponytail and onyx eyes. Izawa, well, since everyone in their places, I will probably introduce myself. I'm Shoto Izawa, but call me Izawa-sensei. For the next 3 years, I will be your homeroom teacher. Now put it on. He said, pulling PE form. In the locker room, when Izuku took off his t-shirt, he immediately caught the attention of the other boys. Izuku, what are you staring at? Vegeta, how did you get these scars? Izuku, none of your business. He said, little annoyed. On the training field, Izawa, okay Bakugo, how far could you throw the ball in middle school? Bakugo, 67 meters. Izawa, good. Now go into this circle and throw it with your quirk. Bakugo, okay die. Ball flew out of the Bakugo's hand with an explosion. Izawa, not bad. He said, showing everyone tablet with 705-2 written on it. Hiroshima, we can use our quirks. Mina, that will be fun. Izawa, fun you say? Then the one who will be on last place will be expelled. Everyone except Izuku. Vegeta, but that's unrare. Izawa, car crashes, killings, theft, fires. All this is not fair. Heroes are people who must prevent such events. 1. Push-ups. Izuku was first because he macked push-ups very fast and for long time. 2. Sit-ups. Just like with push-ups. 3. Grip test. Izuku came first again. When he clenched his fist, machine broke. 4. Long jump. Izuku was first 350 kilometers and behind him was girl named Sayu Asui 50 meters. 5. High jump. Izuku got infinity because he can fly. However, everyone thought that he just jumped high. 6. Side to side jumping. Izuku jumped so fast that his silhouettes remained. 7. Running race. Izuku was paired with Kitsuki Bakugo. Bakugo, hey extra, you remind me of someone. Izuku, I don't care. Izawa, nobody even had time to blink as Izuku was already at the finish. Everyone, what happened? Results. Kitsuki Bakugo 412 sec. Izuku Midoriya 0 sec. Everyone, this guy is op. 8. Ball throwing. Girl named Ichako Uraraka got infinity and Kitsuki Bakugo already got 705 meters. Now it's Izuku's turn. Izuku, Izawa, alright, now throw that ball with everything you got. Izuku, if you want so, I will. Izuku took the ball in his hand and lifted it to the sky. Mina, what is he doing? Suddenly a red glow appeared between the ball and his hand. Izuku awarid ah. After these words, ball flew at high speed from Izuku's hand. Everyone's jaws dropped. Everyone thought they saw everything, but no. Izawa, well, I did not expect anything less from the one who in an instant destroyed the city Delta, and this is our largest city was. Everyone, he what? Time skip results. 1. Izuku Midoriya. 2. Momoyaoi Rozu. 3. Shoto Todoroki. 4. Kitsuki Bakugo. 5. Fumikage Tokoyami. 20. Minoru Mineta. Izawa, oh, and I was lying about expelling the last of you all. He said with smirk. Everyone except Izuku and Momo. Momo, did you seriously think that he really will expel any one of us? It was just a test. Izawa. Correct Yaoi Rozu. Now go change back in your school form. Time skip in class. Mina, hey guys, I just came up with a great idea. Since we will be classmates for the next 3 years, why don't we introduce ourselves? Everyone except Izuku, Bakugo and Todoroki. Mina, well then I go first. My name is Mina Shido. My quirk is acid. I like dance and hang out with friends and my hobbies is have fun. Aoyama. Bonjour, my name is Yuga Aoyama. My quirk is naval laser. My hobbies, I like being stylish and my hobbies are looking how stylish I am. Hiroshima, hi, my name is Ejiro Kirishima. My quirk is hardening. I like manly things and my hobby is include being manly. Hello everyone. My name is Toru Hagakure. I like gossiping with friends and my hobby is reading stories. Koda, hi, I'm Koji Koda. My quirk is Iniwaz. I like animals and I don't have hobby. Tokoyami, my name is Fumikage Tokoyami. My quirk is Dark Shadow. I like dark and my hobbies is training with Dark Shadow. Todoroki, I'm Shoto Todoroki. My quirk half hot half cold. I like nothing and my hobbies is nothing. Bakugo, my name is Kitsuki Bakugo. My quirk is explosion. I like kicking ass and hobbies kicking ass. Sayu, hello everyone, Kiro. My quirk is frog. I like spend my time with family or friends and my hobbies to helping my mom and dad. Here, my name is Jiru Kyoka. My quirk is earphone jack. I like music and my hobby is music. Denki, yo, my name is Denki Kaminari. My quirk is electricity. I like chilling with friends, but I don't have hobbies. Sato. I'm Rikido Sato, nice to meet you all. My quirk is sugar rush. I like sweet things and my hobbies are backing. Mineta, hi, I'm Minoru Mineta. My quirk is pop off. I like girls and my hobby is watching hot girls. Uraraka, hello, my name is Ichako Uraraka. My quirk is zero gravity. I like sweet things and my hobbies are help my parents. Siro, yo, my name is Hanta Siro. My quirk is tape. I like mostly everything and hobbies are hanging out with friends. Ida greetings, I'm Ida Tenya. My quirk is engine. I like following rules and my hobby is studying. Majiro hi, I'm Majiro Mashirao. My quirk is tail. I like having fun and my hobbies include martial arts. Shoji I'm Izo Shoji. My quirk is multiple limbs. My hobbies are almost nothing and I like mainly everything. Momo hello everyone. My name is Momo Yaoi Rozu. My quirk is creation. I like train my quirk and my hobbies include reading books. Izuku my name is Izuku Midoriya. I'm quirkless. I almost don't like anything. My hobbies are trainings and protecting everyone dear for me. Mina ha, you're joker. Izuku I am not kidding. He said little annoyed. Everyone in Guru but, it's impossible. Zero dude, how you got so strong without having a quirk? Izuku trainings. Everyone what kind of trainings? Izuku none of your business. Itsuki Deku. Izuku what do you want? Itsuki. I'll kill you. Itsuki wanted to strike, but Izuku suddenly disappeared. Everyone where is he? Izuku? I'm right there. Suddenly everyone noticed Izuku standing on Kitsuki's head. Zero how did he get there? Shoji moment ago he was not there. Then Izuku said these last words before leaving class. Izuku you will have a chance to defeat me only if you can destroy the planet with one wave of your hand. He said surrounded by a red aura. Time skip on the way home. Izuku I can't believe that bastard got into UA okay, anyway, he won't be able to compete with me. Hey, wait Midoriya-kun. Izuku Oh hello Yaoi Rozu-san. Momo do you mind if I go with you, I just along the way? Izuku sure. They walked a bit then Momo started a conversation. Momo so, Midoriya-kun, maybe you tell me a little about yourself. How do you got such power? Izuku all I can say is that I didn't get this power from regular training. And please don't ask such questions. Momo why? Something happened. Izuku yeah. Momo okay I won't ask. Izuku however, when I get to know you better I will tell you. Momo thank you. They reached the station but train, on which Momo was supposed to go home left. Momo damn. Now I have to wait another 2 hours before the next train. Izuku if you want I can help you get home. Momo how? Izuku well. Suddenly Izuku began to levitate. Momo come on you can even that. Izuku yeah. Well, are you with me? Momo why, yeah. She said nervously. Momo climbed onto Izuku's back and they both flew into the air. Momo woohoo. Izuku how do you like it? Momo it's amazing. Izuku well, show the way. Momo my house is over there. Izuku okay. After a couple of minutes, they were near Momo's house. Momo thanks for dropping me home. She said hugging him. Izuku. You're welcome Yaoi Rozu-san. If you want, I can pick you up tomorrow and we will fly together. Yet I live close. Momo you'll really do this for me? Izuku if you want. Momo thank you Midoriya-ku. Izuku for friends Izuku. Momo then call me Momo. Thank you very much Izuku-kun. Izuku. You're welcome Momo-chan. He said with smile and left. Momo. I can't believe he allowed me to call him by his first name and even so, why did my heart beat so hard? Why did I feel so lonely when he left? Maybe I ask mom about that. In Yaoi Rozu's mansion. Momo mom dad I'm home. This is Yaoi Rozu hello sweetie, how was your first day? Momo well, today we had a quirk test. As always sensei threatened to expel the one who will be in last place in this test. I was second in this test. Mr. Yaoi Rozu well, I think that second place is a great result. Momo thank you father and could you please leave the room? Mom and I need to discuss something. Mr. Yaoi Rozu yes of course. He said and left. This is Yaoi Rozu so Momo, what did you want to discuss with me? Momo well today my classmate threw me home because train on which I was supposed to go left. For some reason, when I was near him my heart began to beat several times faster and when he left I became very lonely. Tell me mom, what's going on with me? This is Yaoi Rozu oh my god I do not believe my ears my daughter fell in love. Momo blushed. Momo what? And no I saw him for the first time today. This is Yaoi Rozu Momo, my daughter. Love is a very incredible thing. You may not know this person at all, but you may fall in love with him. Momo are really? This is Yaoi Rozu yes Momo. Well tell me who is lucky. She said with smirk. Momo I Izuku Midoriya. Meanwhile in Midoriya's house. Izuku I'm home. Inko welcome home how was your first day? Izuku well good. Today Izawa made a quirk test. I took first place. Inko I am so happy for you, Izuku. Izuku thank you mom. Inko oh. By the way I heard Kitsuki-chan studying in UA too. Izuku we are in the same class. Inko really? Izuku honestly in my class almost everyone gets on my nerve. There is only one person with whom I can talk normally. Everyone else is very noisy. Inko and who is it? Izuku her name is Momo Yaoi Rozu. Perhaps she is the only one whom I can soon regard as a friend. Inko my son fell in love. She whispered to herself, but Izuku heard. Izuku maybe. Inko wait. I only teased you. Are you serious? Izuku, you know she's pretty cute. She is smart and very beautiful. Inko last question. Izuku, yes. Inko, how do you feel next to her? Izuku, you know, when she's near, my heart begins to beat a little stronger than usual, and when she's not near me, I feel somehow lonely. Inko, oh my god, my boy really fell in love with a girl, she screamed and fainted. Izuku, well, I expected such reaction. He carried his mother to her bed and went to meditate. Chapter 3. Battle training and learning about each other. The next day, our protagonist spent the whole night meditating. The call of his mother brought him out of this state. Inko, Izuku, breakfast is ready. Izuku, I'm coming. Izuku left his meditation and went to the kitchen, where his mother was waiting for him. Izuku, good morning, mom. How did you sleep? Inko, after what you told me yesterday, I slept very well. Anyway, breakfast is ready. Izuku, thanks. Izuku ate his breakfast and was preparing to leave. Izuku, I'm left. Inko, have a nice day, son. When Izuku left the house, he headed to Yaoi Rozu's mansion. Meanwhile, in Yaoi Rozu's mansion, this is Yaoi Rozu. Momo, why are you still at home? Your train is about to leave. Momo, well, Izuku told me yesterday that he would pick me up today and we will fly to school together. Mrs. Yaoi Rozu, oh, you want to spend more time with him, she said with smirk. Momo, mom, she screamed and her face exploded in red. Mrs. Yaoi Rozu, ha 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 ha, Momo, I'm just teasing you. Momo, however, maybe you're somewhat right. She said and blushed even more. Mrs. Yaoi Rozu. Sniff, my little girl grew up so fast, sniff dot. Ding dong. Momo, okay mom, I left. Mrs. Yaoi Rozu, good luck, Momo. Momo went outside the gates of her family's mansion, where Izuku was already waiting for her. Momo, hello Izuku-kun. Izuku, hello Momo-chan. Are you ready? Momo, yeah. She climbed on Izuku's back and they both flew away. The flight took only 2 minutes. Izuku wanted to land but suddenly noticed a crowd of reporters near the gate to the school. Izuku, Momo-chan. Momo, yes. Izuku, you don't mind if we land in the schoolyard? Momo, why? Izuku, bunch of journalists gathered at the gates. Momo, oh? Well, yeah, you can. They landed and went to class. In class, Hiroshima, how do you think who will teach us today? Hiru, probably some pro hero. Mina, I think Aizawa-sensei will teach us as usual. I'm going trough the door like normal person. Suddenly a very tall muscular man entered the class. Enki, wow, All Might himself will teach us. So is it a Silver Age costume, Kiro? All Might, ha 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 ha, today I will teach you battle training, so meet me on the training field, remember to wear your costumes. In locker room, Vegeta, hey guys, look what I found. Enki, what is it? Vegeta pulled a poster and there was a hole behind it. Vegeta, I can't wait to see Ishido's figure. Sayu's sexy ass. Yaoi Rozu's dot. Izuku, you better shut up. Otherwise, I will throw you right in the sun. He said and grabbed his leg and squeezed it with 0.00001% of his strength. Vegeta, ouch, please forgive me, you will break my leg. Izuku let go of Vegeta's leg. Izuku, next time I will break your leg. Vegeta. Gulp dot. On training field. All Might, well, let's get started. Where is young Midoriya? Momo raised her hand. Momo, I think he's still changing. Suddenly footsteps were heard. Izuku, sorry, I'm late. Momo, wow. Izuku-kun, you look so cool in your costume. Izuku, thanks. But don't you think your costume a bit revealing? He said, blushing a little. Momo, well, because of my quirk I need to show more of my skin. She said, blushing redder than Kirishima's hair. Izuku, despite this, you also have a good suit. Momo, thanks. Mina, oh, yeah, Momo already trying to flirt with Midoriya. Momo, Mina, she screamed, blushing again dot. Time skip, all teams like in anime, but Ichako and Momo switched places. All Might, alright, first battle will be between Team A as heroes and Team D as villains. Heroes, you have 5 minutes to think about your plan. Villains, you may enter now. Momo, so Izuku-kun. Izuku, I could handle it myself, but since you're here I want you to show what you are capable of. Therefore, I will deal with Bakugo myself because he will definitely separate from Iida and follow me and you will look for a bomb. Momo, are you sure? I can just get in the way. Izuku, Momo, don't think so. I believe that you can do it. If something goes wrong, I will know it and will immediately help you. He said, smiling. Momo, thanks. She said with small blush. All Might, alright heroes, you may enter now. Izuku, let's do this. Momo, yes. They entered the building and Izuku begun to search Bakugo's and Iida's energies. Izuku, I feel Iida is on the 5th floor guarding the bomb. Bakugo goes down to the 3rd floor. We go forward until we stumble upon Bakugo. Then you go alone. When they went up to the 2nd floor, Izuku and Momo heard someone running towards them. Bakugo, Deku. Izuku, now go. Momo, be careful. She said and ran in search of bomb. Bakugo, how the hell did you get here, you quirkless bastard? Bakugo sent an explosion towards Izuku, however when smoke cleared Izuku stood on his place untouched. Bakugo, what? Izuku, are you done? Bakugo, bastard, forgot to mention All Might gave Ofa to Bakugo. Bakugo, full cowling. Suddenly Bakugo was surrounded by yellow lightning. Bakugo, you will regret standing in my way. Bakugo rushed to Izuku and hit him many times, but Izuku didn't even feel these blows at all. Then Bakugo began to attack Izuku with his explosions and after few minutes stopped. Bakugo. Huff huff dot. When the smoke cleared, Bakugo couldn't believe his eyes. He saw completely untouched Izuku standing in the same place. Izuku, if this is all that you are capable of, then I see no reason to spend my time on you. Suddenly Izuku disappeared and reappeared behind Bakugo. Izuku, get lost. He said and knocked out Bakugo with blow to the neck and walked away. An observation room, everyone saw how Izuku knocked out Bakugo with single punch. Zero, who the hell is he? Mina, he didn't even flinch when Bakugo attacked him. Kirishima, that's so manly, what kind of training he had since he is so powerful. Back to building. Meanwhile Momo quietly entered the room and created some light grenades. Momo 3 2 1 go. Momo rushed at Iida and threw all her light grenades at him. When she blinded him, Momo created bow staff and knocked Iida out. Momo done. Honestly, it was too easy. She said and touched the bomb. All Might Hero team wins. After a few minutes Iida woke up. Iida W, what happened? Momo, sorry Iida, but we won. Iida, so this is how it is. Then I congratulate you on your victory. Momo, thanks. They already wanted to leave but suddenly. Bakugo, hey Four Eyes, I need to discuss something with Ponytail. Iida, if this is something important then okay. He said and left. Bakugo, hey Ponytail, answer me, where is Deku? Momo, even if I knew, I wouldn't say. What do you need from him? Bakugo, heh, but I think you know where he is. Answer, where is he? Momo, I already said that I didn't know, but if I had known, I wouldn't have said. Bakugo, fine Ponytail, as you wish. He said and pointed his gauntlet at Momo. Bakugo, you see, my quirk allows me to secrete nitroglycerin on my hands and then blow it up. If they made my costume the way I wanted it. All Might young Bakugo, don't do this, match is already over. Bakugo, I don't care, I will blow up this whole building if I need it, but I will find that bastard, he said and pulled out ring from his gauntlet. Bakugo, you must hope that he will appear sooner or later, because otherwise I will blow you up with this room. He said smiling devilishly. Very big boom. An observation room. Everyone Yayoi Rozu Momo young, Yayoi Rozu. Everyone thought that she was blown up, but suddenly, back in building, you bastard. The smoke cleared and in front of Bakugo stood Izuku, who defended Momo with his body. His upper part of the suit was torn. Izuku, you can attack me as much as you like. But the one who tries to hurt my friends will pay for it. Suddenly Izuku's eyes filled with red color for a moment and some invisible force began to beat Bakugo. Moment later Bakugo was sticking out from the wall. Izuku, remember, if you try to harm her again, I won't beat you with 0.00001% of my strength, but with all 100%. He said and walked to Momo. Izuku, hey Momo-chan, are yo? He was interrupted when suddenly Momo hugged him. Then Izuku felt that she began to cry. Momo. Sob, thank you so sob much Izuku-kun. I sob, don't know what sob could happen to sob me if you hadn't appeared. Izuku, what kind of hero would I be if I cannot save someone, especially if the someone is my friend? He said smiling. Momo. Giggle, yeah, you're right. Let's get out of here. Izuku, I agree. An observation room. When Izuku and Momo walked in observation room they saw how everyone stared at them. Izuku, what are you staring at? Hiroshima, bro, that was so manly. Zero, how could you survive such a huge explosion and even remain almost untouched? Mina, yes, and what was that when your eyes turned red for a moment and suddenly Bakugo received a lot of quick blows? Izuku, my sensei taught me this technique. He said with a share of sadness in his voice. Time skip after class. Izuku, well Momo-chan, are you ready? Momo, yeah, she screamed and they flew to Yayoi Rozu's mansion. 2 minutes later they were near Yayoi Rozu's mansion. Izuku, here we are, Momo-chan. Momo, thank you Izuku-ku. Ring ring. Momo, huh? Mom, Momo, your father and I met one lady and didn't even notice how we became almost best friends. Now we hang out in the city. We will be late, so could you spend the night at your friend's house? Momo, Izuku-kun, look at this. She said and showed him her phone. Izuku, I got a similar message from my mom. Momo, so you think? Izuku, yeah, your parents met my mom. Anyway, I think you forgot your keys, am I right? Momo, why, yeah. Izuku, don't think wrong, but how do you think about staying at my place? Momo, SSS, stay at YYRP place. She stuttered while blushing and steam came out of Momo's ears. Izuku, but only if you wanted. I won't force you. If you want, I can throw you to your friend's house. Momo, and no, I'm okay with this. Izuku, okay, then follow me. Momo, we won't fly. Izuku, Momo-chan, my house is just around the corner. Momo, oh. Izuku, okay then, let's go. Momo, yes, in Midoriya's house. Izuku, well Momo-chan, make yourself at home. Momo, wow, your home is pretty comfortable. Izuku, thanks. Well, let me show you the house. One explanation later. Izuku, well, Momo-chan, you can go take a shower and I'll make dinner. Momo, you can cook. Izuku, yeah. Momo, okay, I'll go to the shower. Izuku, should I bring you some clothes? Momo no need, I can do it myself. Izuku okay. 10 minutes later, Momo left the shower and went to the kitchen, where Izuku cooking. Izuku Momo-chan, have you already left the shower? Wait a little while, I make dinner. He said smiling. Momo okay. She sat at the table and waited 2 minutes. Izuku, well, the food is ready, you can start. Momo, thank you. She took a bite and stars appeared in her eyes. Momo, this is so delicious. Izuku, I'm glad you liked it. After they ate, they began to think what to do next. Izuku, Momo-chan, do you want to watch a movie? Momo, sure. They sat on the couch and watched a horror movie. Although Momo loved horror, for some reason she was scared and she was hiding in Izuku's chest, hugging him from fear. Izuku didn't seem to mind. Momo. Why am I so scared? This isn't first time I've watched a horror movie. So why? Why am I hugging him? I hope he doesn't mind, she said in her mind and blushed, but she blushed even more when Izuku hugged her by her waist with his arm. Izuku. What I'm doing? She might think I'm some kind of pervert. But my hand moves by itself. I hope she doesn't mind. He said in his mind and blushed slightly. Meanwhile, the film has already ended and after that Izuku and Momo talked on different topics. Momo, Izuku-kun. Izuku, yes, Momo-chan. Momo, can I ask one question? Izuku, of course. Momo, why are you so quiet? You almost never talk to anyone other than me and I thought something happened. And sometimes I see pain and sadness in your eyes. Izuku. Momo, oh, sorry. I shouldn't have asked. Izuku. Follow me. Momo, oh, okay. Momo followed Izuku and soon they were near his room. When they entered, Izuku took out a photograph. He sat on the bed with this photograph in his hand and looked at it. Izuku, tell me, Momo-chan, do you really want to know my story? Momo, I won't force you, but I want to know because I want to help you. Izuku. Sigh, well, if you ask so, okay. Izuku, POV. When I was 4 years old, my mother and I went to the doctor to find out what was my quirk. Unfortunately, I was born with no quirk. The next day I came to the playground where I saw my best friend Bakugo, or, as I called him before, Kachin. When he found out that I didn't have a quirk, Bakugo with his lackeys begun to beat me up until they were tired of it. Momo got angry at what Izuku said. She used to think of Bakugo as a bad person, but now she hated him. Izuku continued. When I was able to get to my feet, I went home, not even suspecting that someone was watching me. It was my future sensei. He suggested that I train with him, which I immediately agreed to, and after that I trained with him on his planet for 12 years. End of Izuku POV. Momo, so you tell me that you trained with him on another planet. Izuku, I understand it sounds weird. And I'll understand if you start to consider me crazy after what I told you. Momo, and no, don't think so. I believe you. Honestly, I can't explain your strength except how you told me. Izuku, thanks. Izuku, POV. When I trained with Jiren sensei, there was war on his planet. I really wanted to help his allies and therefore volunteered for war. Momo gasped from that. When I stepped on the battlefield, I realized all severity of the war. I witnessed how my comrades died on the battlefield. The losses were simply colossal. However, the death of my teacher was a major blow to me. Momo noticed a tear dripping from Izuku's eye. Girl realized that she made him relive that pain again. Momo couldn't restrain herself and hugged Izuku very tightly. Momo, forgive me, Izuku-kun. I didn't know how hard it was for you. I didn't want to make you remember all this horror again. Izuku, Momo-chan, everything that happened is not your fault. I should not have kept it a secret from you. Honestly, it's much easier for me now. Thank you. Momo, but still I really didn't want to make you remember this whole nightmare. Izuku, it's okay, Momo-chan, but I ask you about one thing. Momo, Izuku, please don't tell anyone about it. Momo, I promise. Izuku, thank you. Well, it's pretty late. I'll go to sleep in the living room and you can sleep on my bed. Momo, wait. Izuku, something happened. Momo, could you please sleep with me? I'm a little scared to sleep in an unfamiliar room alone. She said while blushing. Izuku, if you ask so, yes, I can. Momo, thank you. When they lay down, both Izuku and Momo blushed from being in the same bed with each other. They tried not to touch each other, but in such a small bed where only one person fits it was impossible. Soon, when they both fell asleep, in dream Momo hugged Izuku because she was used to hugging her teddy bear when she went to bed. It helped her relax. And in this case, Izuku acted as a teddy bear. However, Izuku also hugged Momo with one hand. Inko, Izuku, I'm home. No answer. Inko, Izuku. Maybe he's in his room meditating. Inko came to check what her son is doing. She quietly opened the door, thinking that he was meditating. However, when she went into the room, Inko saw that not only Izuku didn't meditate, but he also lies in the same bed with the girl and they are both cuddling. Inko. Wait a minute. Yumi told me what their daughter looked like. It can't be, I have to send this to Yumi. Inko took her phone and took a photo of sleeping Izuku and Momo, who hug each other in dream. After that, she left Izuku's room and went to bed. Chapter 4. USJ. The next day, we see how Izuku is sleeping and with one hand hugs Momo, who in her turn hugs him very tightly with both hands. However, today they need to go to school. Momo was the first to wake up. She opened her eyes and saw Izuku, whom she hugged tightly, and he, in turn, pressed her to him with one hand, and their noses touched each other. From this she blushed very hard and steam came out of her ears. Momo. OMG, I don't believe that we slept in the same bed, our noses are so close, stop, am I hugging him? And is he hugging me? Meanwhile Izuku began to wake up. Momo. Please don't wake up yet. Unfortunately, Izuku woke up and saw a completely red Momo in front of him. Then he drew attention to position in which they are both lying and also turned red, although not as much as Momo. Izuku hello Momo-chan. Momo hello Izuku-kun. Izuku suo, did you sleep well? Momo why yes. Izuku, well then, let's go have breakfast. Momo why, yeah. They went to the kitchen and saw Izuku's mom making breakfast. Izuku, good morning mom. Inko Oh, good morning Izuku. How did you sleep? Izuku, very good. Inko, I'm glad. By the way, who is it behind you? Izuku, oh, she's my classmate, Momo Yaoi Rozu. Momo, nice to meet you Mrs. Midoriya. Inko, call me Inko. Momo, okay. They sat at the table and began to have breakfast. Inko, by the way, Izuku, Momo, both of you are dating. Izuku choked on his food and Momo blushed. Izuku, no mom, we aren't dating. Inko, oh? You just hugged each other so much during sleep. So I thought, she said, showing them a photo where Izuku and Momo are cuddling. They both blushed. Then they dressed in their school uniforms and flew to school. Today, reporters stood at the gates of UA again. So they flew over the gates and went to class. In class, Izawa, alright class, right now you will choose class president and vice president. Everyone began to shout out their names and say why they should choose them. Izawa quickly calmed them down by using his quirk. Vegeta, let's vote. Everyone supported this idea, and after a couple of minutes the results were as follows. Izuku Midoriya 5 votes. Momo Yaoi Rozu 4 votes. The rest 0 votes. Bakugo, who voted for that bastard? Izuku, shut up. You're annoying. Bakugo, what did you said? Izuku, I warned you. Suddenly Izuku disappeared from everyone's sight and appeared behind Bakugo and chopped his neck, knocking him out. Izuku, well then, I thank you for voting for me. I will do the work of class president as well as possible. Momo, and I'll help him as class vice president. Izawa, well, since you have chosen your class president and vice president, I can say that today you will have a hero training outside the school. Today you will go to USJ. Almost everyone, yeah. Izawa, shut up. Time skip lunch time. Izuku sat at the empty table and ate until Iida, Uraraka and Momo approached him. Momo, hey Izuku-kun, don't you mind if we sit with you? Izuku, I don't mind. For a while they all just enjoyed the food, but Momo decided to break the silence between them. Momo, by the way guys, why do you want to become heroes? Iida, well, I want to become a hero because my elder brother is pro-hero. Momo, and your brother is not Ingenium by chance? Iida, yeah. I want to make him proud of me. Momo, good aim. And you, Uraraka? Uraraka, W, well, my family owns a small construction company, but it doesn't pay off very well. We can be called poorer than the poor. I tried to help them with my quirk, but they said that I should follow my own dreams. It may sound selfish, but I want to become a heroine to make money for my family. Clap clap, Uraraka, huh? Iida, bravo Uraraka-san. Momo, Uraraka, there is nothing wrong with helping your family. Uraraka, why yeah, thank you. Momo, well, and you, Izuku-kun? Izuku, from childhood, I wanted to become a hero who can save people and give them happiness. I also want to protect those who are dear to me. Momo, so you and I have similar goals, Izuku-kun. Izuku, it seems like that. Security level, 3rd level was broken. Suddenly, a panic began in cafeteria. Iida, what happened? 3rd year student. 3rd security level was broken, this means the villains broke into school. Everyone began to run towards the exit from the cafeteria. All but one. Izuku, I am tired of this. Suddenly everyone felt tremendous pressure. From this, everyone fell on the floor with no way to get up. No one was even able to talk. However, one person remained standing, but he glowed with a red aura. Izuku, and I thought it was a hero school, not a kindergarten. If you were afraid of such a trifle, then I don't think that good heroes will come out of you. He said and left everyone with terrified faces. Small time skip. Izawa, okay everyone, get in the bus. Midoriya, you will stay. Iida, why Izawa-sensei? Izawa, he will be busy as class president. Izuku, understood. Izawa, good. In bus, Momo POV. On the bus, we talked about what quirks we have. However, the main reason for the conversation was the strength of Izuku-kun. So guys, how do you think Midoriya-san gained such power, Kiro? Enki, I don't know, but I think it's a quirk. Shoji, same here. Momo, you are wrong. Iida, why Yaoi Rozu-san? Momo, he told me how he got such power. Mina, tell us. Momo, he, nope. Enki, why? Momo, he, secret. Mina, maybe you just don't want to reveal to us the secret of your boyfriend. From that Momo blushed. Momo Mina. As always, shut up, we are here. Everyone got off the bus and immediately saw a huge building, USJ. Students were greeted by the Space Hero 13, who began to explain to us what USJ is. Everything was going fine, but suddenly in the middle of USJ portal opened, from where a man came out with hands all over. Hiroshima, wow, there are even fake villains here. It's so manly. As always, stay back, they are real villains, he said, putting his glasses on. Tamura, greetings. I'm Tamura Shigaraki. We came here to kill All Might. He said, and many villains came out from other portals. Aizawa 13, protect students. 13 understood. Aizawa rushed into battle with villains. They thought they could defeat one person, but they were mistaken. Aizawa's quirk allows him to erase other people's quirks. In addition, glasses darkened his eyes, so it was impossible to see where he was looking. One by one, Aizawa defeated villains. Tamura, looks like we underestimated you, Eraserhead. Okay, we are leaving, but before that, we'll kill a couple of these bastards. Kurogiri. Kurogiri, yes. Suddenly every student was caught in purple smoke and after a few seconds disappeared. Tamura, now Nomu, destroy that brat. Suddenly, a bird-like creature with brains sticking out of its head appeared from the portal. With Momo, Jiru and Kaminari land in a landslide zone. Almost immediately, villains surrounded them. Denki guys, I think we have to fight. Jiru, yes, without you we wouldn't have guessed. Momo defended herself with bow staff she created, Jiru used her quirk to create shock waves, and Kaminari used his electricity in small quantities, so he won't become stupid. Denki, damn, there are too many of them. Jiru, yeah, Momo, create a cover for us. Momo already creating. After some time, protection flew from Momo's back. Jiru, Kaminari now. Kaminari used all his electricity. He stunned all villains around, but became dumb. Momo, now we are safe for a while. Jiru, yeah, Momo, your cover. Momo, eh? Ah, don't worry, I can replace it. Jiru, Kaminari, don't look. Denki VE. Jiru, oh. Soon they got out of the landslide zone and headed for the exit. Almost immediately, they noticed everyone else. Momo guys, where is Aizawa-sensei? Hiroshima, we saw how he fought with villains. Jiru, but I don't see him. Denki, guys. Everyone what? Denki, look. He pointed to Plaza, where everyone saw a very bulky bird-like creature, and next to him was someone. Momo created the binoculars and looked there. Momo, it's Aizawa-sensei. He's bleeding. Everyone what? Momo, we need to help him. Meanwhile with Aizawa tried to fight this creature, but it was useless. Every blow he hit didn't even land a scratch on him. It started to beat up Aizawa and threw him into the wall. Tamura, kill him, Nomu. Todoroki, over my grave. He said and threw giant glacier at Nomu, but he broke through it. Tamura, just look at that. Students want to save their teacher. Isn't that cute? But I hasten to upset you. You won't succeed. Meet Nomu. It was created to kill All Might. Bakugo bullshit, he charged at Nomu, but received very strong punch and flew into the nearest wall. Hiroshima, damn, he's very strong. Hiroshima charged at Nomu and hit him, but Nomu didn't even flinched. Hiroshima, what? Suddenly Nomu hit Hiroshima in head and he flew away and lost consciousness. Mineta, is this our end? He said and fell on the ground. Sayu, he's too strong. Mina, what do we do now? Suddenly creature rushed at Momo. Everyone yaoi rozu ya Momo. The moment Nomu was a meter away from Momo, the wall in USJ was broken to pieces and Momo disappeared. But then everyone paid attention to what was behind Nomu. It was Izuku and Momo in his hands. Izuku, game over. Momo opened her eyes and saw that she was no longer on her feet but in strong arms. Momo, Izuku-kun. Izuku, Momo-chan, are you okay? Momo, why yes, but Aizawa-sensei, Bakugo and Kirishima are in very poor condition, mostly Aizawa-sensei. Izuku understood. He appeared next to his classmates in a blink of eye and put Momo on the ground. Izuku, it would be bad if you got hurt. He said with a caring smile, from which Momo blushed slightly. Then he approached Nomu. Izuku, why should I always do everything myself? Tamura, do you really think you can defeat Nomu? Ha, don't make me laugh. Nomu, kill him. Nomu charged at Izuku and punched him in face, but Izuku didn't even feel the blow. Izuku, are you done? Tamura, what? Izuku raised his hand up. Izuku, get lost. He said and quickly cut the air with his hand, cutting Nomu in half. Tokoyami, what power? Shoji, we couldn't even scratch him, and Midoriya halved it with one wave of his hand. Tamura, I admit you are very strong, however, my Nomu cannot be killed so easily. Suddenly Nomu regenerated and tried to hit Izuku again, but Izuku caught his punch. Izuku, too slow. Suddenly Izuku disappeared from everyone's side and reappeared behind Nomu. He snapped his fingers, and Nomu received a hail of lightning fast and powerful blows that tore him into small pieces. Tamura, are you an idiot? He can regenerate. Izuku, you see, no regeneration will save you if your head is torn off. But if he gets up, I just tear him up again. With difficulty, Nomu regenerated and tried once again to strike Izuku. Izuku, it's time to end with you. Izuku caught Nomu's punch and said, Izuku 20%. Izuku began to beat Nomu with his most powerful and fastest punches. When Izuku stopped, Nomu still stood for a couple of moments. But then Nomu screamed in agony and exploded, and its remains scattered on Tamura and Kurogiri. Izuku tried to regenerate this. Tamura, why he didn't regenerate it? Izuku, you see, I destroyed absolutely every this creature's cell. Remember, regeneration doesn't produce cells from nothing. There must be a cell with which you can produce another. Tamura, you cheater, I'll kill you. Izuku, if you can. 1% shock wave. Izuku hit the air, forming a huge shock wave, blowing everything in its path. Tamura, Kurogiri portal. Kurogiri, yes. They both disappeared into the portal, and the wall behind them was destroyed in smithereens. Izuku, cowards. Izuku turned around and saw his classmates with shocked faces. Izuku, scared of me? No one gave an answer. Only Momo approached him. Izuku, Momo chad. He was cut off when she hugged him very tightly. Momo, I'm so glad you came. I don't know what would happen to us if you hadn't arrived on time. She said, and little tears rolled from her eyes. Izuku, it's okay Momo-chan, I'm here. He said with warm smile. Thank you dude, that was so cool. Hurry, yes, especially when you snapped your fingers and Nomu was torn apart. Now we at least know what you are capable of 100%. Izuku, Hagakure-san, at that moment I didn't use my full power, just 20%. Everyone Chapter 5. UA dorms. Everyone were shocked by what Izuku said, except Momo. They all froze and just looked at Izuku. Izuku, how long are you going to look at me? This is annoying. Enki dude, are you joking? Izuku, I look like a man who knows how to joke. He said, little annoyed. Everyone. Izuku, good. Now let's get out of here. Everyone, yes. Izuku picked up half-dead Izawa and 13 and carried them to nearest hospital. When UA found out about the incident at USJ, Principal Nezu decided to close the school for a while. Also, for safety of students, UA made decision to build dorms for each class. The next day, Izuku went to the kitchen to make breakfast for himself and his mother because she still had to sleep. What was his surprise when in the kitchen he saw not only his mother but also the very symbol of peace, All Might. Izuku, All Might. Good morning young Midoriya. I would like to talk about something with you. Izuku, I'm listening. First of all, I want to thank you for saving the students then in USJ. Izuku, nothing special. But as I understand it, this isn't all you wanted to tell me. Am I right? Yes. After that incident UA decided to build dorms for each class. Izuku, therefore, I must move there for the safety of all students. Yes. Izuku, well, if necessary, then it is necessary. Here is the answer I was hoping to hear. I will wait outside. As soon as you finish, come out. He said and left. Izuku, please be careful. I can't lose you again. Izuku, mom, everything will be fine. Don't forget that I'm strongest human on Earth. On this planet, at least from Jiren sensei's stories, I can say that even symbol of peace cannot harm me. He said smiling. My baby has grown so fast, she screamed, hugging him very tightly. Izuku, I promise that I will come as often as I can. I hope. Okay, don't make All Might wait. Izuku, well then, I'll go. Good luck son. Izuku left the house, next to which All Might was waiting for him. Are you ready? Izuku, yes. Then, let's go. Small time skip. Here we are young Midoriya. Izuku, looks good. By the way, where is my room? Your room is 4th on the 5th floor. Izuku, thanks. Izuku went inside and saw a large living room in which there was nobody. Izuku, probably too early I came here. He decided to go for a walk around the building. When he walked past the kitchen, he accidentally noticed someone sitting at the table with his back to him. Izuku may not have seen a face, but he recognizes this hairstyle everywhere. Izuku, hey Momo-chan. Momo, eh? She turned and saw Izuku, who was looking at her with a smile and calm look. Suddenly her heart began to beat faster. Momo? What is happening to me? Why does my heart beat so fast when I look at him or even just think about him? What are you doing to me, Izuku-kun? Hello Izuku-kun. Izuku, I understand that there is only you and me. Momo, why, yeah. Izuku, well, it can't be helped. Until they arrived, I can cook something. You're gonna eat. Momo, if it's not hard for you. Izuku, okay. He began to cook and Momo silently watched him. After a couple of minutes, Izuku served food to the table. Momo, damn Izuku, where did you learn how to cook such a delicious food? Izuku, well, where I was for 12 years, food is not very different from the earth. So I learned to cook there. Mina, oh guys, are you already here? Izuku, as you see, yes. Hiroshima, hey guys. Over time, all members of class 1 had gathered in the building. After a couple of minutes, Principal Nezu came to them. Nezu, so students, let's talk with you about your dorms. Boys will be in one wing, girls in another. You can remake your room as you like. On the first floor there is a living area, kitchen, etc. Your rooms begin on the second floor. So that you don't get confused where whose room near each door is a sign with your name. Each room is equipped with a bath, toilet, bath. Is everything clear to everyone? Everyone yes, Nezu good. He said and left. Everyone went to their rooms to lay out things and deal with the interior of their rooms. Small time skip. Mina guys, I have a great idea, let's arrange a tour of our rooms and find out who is better. Every guy except Izuku sweat dropped. Time skip every room as in canon except one. Mina so Midoriya, we left your room for dessert. Izuku no. Guru please. Izuku no. Every girl please. Izuku no. Everyone except Todoroki and Bakugo please. Izuku I said. No. He said in deadly tone, surrounded by red aura. Everyone decided not to bring Izuku to a state of complete anger and left. Izuku annoying. He said and left to his room. Meanwhile with 1A. Mina not fair, why did Midoriya prevent us from getting into his room? Or maybe he keeps something shameful there? Enki I don't think so. Or is he just shy? Maybe he is so serious only at first glance. While they were talking on this subject, everyone accidentally noticed how Izuku was in a hurry somewhere. Hiroshima hey Midoribro, where are you going? He didn't give any answer. While he was running from his hands, a piece of paper fell, which was written, "Ask this paper to principal. I'll be back in a couple of days." Everyone were confused. They looked out the window and saw how Izuku ran out of the building and flew away. Everyone except Momo. Come on, he can do even that. Suddenly, a wide grin appeared on Mina's face. Mina guys, since Midoriya left the dorms in hurry, maybe he didn't close his room. Let's go there. Enki are you crazy? If he finds out, he will kill us all. Mina he won't find out. After a couple of disagreements, they decided to go to Izuku's room. Mina are you ready? Everyone nodded. Mina let's go. Izuku's room had a large bookcase. Nearby stood something like a kettlebell. There was everything necessary on the table. And next to the lamp, in a prominent place there was a photograph where still a little Izuku stands next to proud troopers. Hiroshima and his room is quite comfortable. Then the kettlebell caught his eye. He wanted to try to lift it, but it was too heavy. Hiroshima damn, this thing is heavy. Guys, I need some help. The whole class tried to raise this thing, but they couldn't even lift it. Hiroshima hell, I don't believe that Midoriya can even lift it. Given that this thing couldn't raise the whole class. So hey guys, look at it Kiro. She pointed to a photograph of Izuku along with proud troopers. Hiruo. Midoriya-san looks so adorable. Tokoyami and who are these people nearby? They drew attention to the proud troopers. The Jiro they wear the same uniform as Midoriya-san. Hiru but why none of them even closely resembles an ordinary person? Tokoyami may be mutation type of quirk. So probably, Kiro. After a couple of minutes they left. Time skip 2 days later. It has been 2 days since Izuku flew away. His classmates began to worry a little. Enki guys, I'm starting to worry. He has been gone for 2 days. Hiru this is strange, but in the first time in life, Kaminari is right. Hiru I hope he's alright. During the conversation, the door to the dorms opened and no other than Izuku came inside. He had a very angry look, in which sadness was noticeable. Only Momo noticed it. Izuku just went into his room, ignoring the calls of his classmates. An hour later, Momo decided to visit him. She knocked on the door and in a minute Izuku opened the door. His look was very, very angry, but when he saw who stands behind the door, his look was replaced by a passive. Momo may I come in? Izuku yeah. They went into his room, where Momo sat down on his bed and Izuku himself sat down at the table. There was silence between them for a while. Momo I Izuku-kun, see can I ask the question? Izuku asked. Momo today, when you returned, you had a very angry look, but I still saw a fraction of sadness. Tell me what happened. Izuku. I don't want to tell someone about it. Momo be, but I. Izuku I said I don't want to talk to anyone about this. Momo flinched. She had never seen her friend so angry. Izuku. Sorry. I didn't mean to offend you somehow. Momo everything is fine. We all make mistakes. But really, Izuku-kun, please tell me what happened. I need to know, because I want to help you. Izuku okay. Do you remember how I told you about proud troopers? Momo yes. Izuku was silent for 20 seconds before saying, Izuku. Proud troopers were destroyed. Momo W what? Izuku let me tell you everything from the start. Izuku, POV. As you know, I was one of the proud troopers. Each member of this group is given a device that allows them to communicate with others at colossal distances. 2 days ago, I received an SO signal from Toppo. I immediately rushed to their aid and after about a day I was already in their universe. But I didn't know what nightmare was waiting for me. When I flew I didn't notice how something was in my way. It hit my eyes. I tried to remove it and when I succeeded I saw that this was blood. Momo gasped from fear. When I restored my vision, I was truly horrified. The planet on which I lived and grew for 12 years was completely destroyed. Around, the corpses flew, torn to shreds. Among all these bodies were children's and women's. I tried to find survivors, but unfortunately I didn't succeed. But the worst thing for me was that I saw all the remaining proud troopers, or rather their lifeless, disfigured bodies. End of Izuku's POV. Momo, oh god, Izuku-kun, forgive me. I didn't know. Izuku, everything is fine. I'm not mad at you. To be honest, I needed to express everything about this. But I will ask you about one thing. Momo, yes. Izuku, please be careful. I can't lose you too. For me, you are the dearest person on along with my mom. If I lose you both, I will not stand it. He said, hugging her. Momo happily returned hug and blushed because of his words. Momo, do I really mean so much to you? Izuku, yes. But you can be sure that I will protect you, no matter what. Suddenly Momo blushed even more and decided to do something. When Izuku least expected this, Momo brought her lips to his cheek and kissed him. Izuku blushed. Momo. Diggle, I know, because you always came to my aid. Remember our first hero training? When Bakugo directed a huge explosion at me, you covered me with your body while not thinking about yourself. Or in USJ. When that creature nearly killed me, you came and carried me away from the blow. You always help me. Honestly, I would like to do something for you. Izuku, it's enough for me that you are happy. When you are happy, happy am I. Momo T, thanks. Suddenly Izuku, with his hand, pulled Momo's head to his so that their foreheads touched each other. She blushed at that touch. He looked at her a little and then closed his eyes and said with smile, Izuku, and still I'm glad I met you. Thanks to you, I can continue to smile, as if nothing had happened. You see, when you're around, I'm really calm and I'm really sad when you leave. Suddenly Momo's heart began to beat faster. Momo. He feels the same way I do. Maybe he. Izuku, I don't know how to say it, but you are special to me. And I want to tell you something. Momo. No, it can't be. Izuku, I love you. From the day we met I didn't stop thinking about you, so I thought that now was the right moment. Her eyes widened. She couldn't believe what he said. She thought it was just a dream. Izuku, I understand if you don't feel the same as I do. However, I hope this doesn't harm our friendship. Momo, you have no idea how long I waited for these words. She said with tears of happiness. Izuku, so what do you say? Momo, stupid, I love you too. She said, wiping away her tears. They both looked at each other and then their heads slowly began to lean toward each other. After a couple of seconds, their lips connected together and they both shared a kiss that lasted about 2 minutes. Izuku, well, let's go to the others. Momo, yeah. They left Izuku's room and headed into the living room. There was almost the entire one class. Kirishima, hey look. This is Midoriya. Everyone ran to him and began to ask a bunch of questions. Denki dude, where have you been? Jiren, you disappeared for 2 days and we couldn't find you. Kiru, and why were you so angry when you returned? Izuku, it's personal. I don't really want to remember that. Everyone okay, what is he hiding? Izuku, oh, by the way, Momo-chan told me that you were in my room without my permission. My question is. Are you tired of living? He said with evil smile. Everyone who was at that moment in the living room ran away from fear and Izuku and Momo stayed and laughed at their reaction. Chapter 6. Small rest. In a week, UA opened again. Kirishima, who do you think will teach us today? Mina, maybe some pro hero. Suddenly the door in the class opened and Izawa, with a completely bandaged face, went inside. Izawa, good morning, class. Everyone except Izuku. Ida, Izawa-sensei, did you already recovered? Izawa, my condition is none of your business. Anyway, in 2 weeks there will be a sports festival. These 2 weeks you will prepare for it or you can spend your time as you like, I don't care. Everyone except Izukuya. Izawa, shut up. Time skip after classes. After school, all students of class 1 were in the living room and rested after a hard day at school. All but 2. There were no Izuku and Momo. They were both in their rooms and resting. Izuku was meditating and Momo was reading books. She could read them for hours on the fly, but suddenly someone knocked on the door. She opened the door and saw Izuku looking at her with her usual but slightly nervous look. Izuku, hello Momo. Momo, hi Izu. Izuku, I was thinking, since you are my girlfriend, maybe we can take a walk somewhere, go to the movies, or just eat. Momo, do you want to take me on a date? Izuku, yeah. I will understand if you are busy or something like that. He was cut off when Momo jumped on him and hugged him. Momo, of course I want to go with you, when shall we go? What should I wear? Izuku. Chuckle, I'm glad you agree. We can go today if it suits you. And don't worry about clothes. Just put on clothes that are comfortable for you. Momo, what about the rest? They don't know that we are dating. Izuku, here is what we will do. Back to the rest. Everyone was sitting in the living room until they saw Izuku and Momo walking somewhere. Mina, hey guys, where are you going? Momo, my parents asked me to help them with something. I don't know specifically. Kirishima, and you, Midoriya? Izuku, I'll just go to visit my mom. Haminari, what for? Izuku, do I need a reason to visit my mom? Haminari, and no. Izuku, good. They got out of the dorms and, so that no one suspected anything, went their separate ways, and when they were both out of class 1 of vision, Izuku flew into the air and flew towards Momo. She was already waiting for him. He flew up to her and she climbed onto his back and they both flew away. Momo, well, where are we going? Izuku, you'll see. A minute later they were at the amusement park. Izuku, I heard this new amusement park is very popular among people. Momo, I have long dreamed of going here. Thank you very much, Izu. She said, kissing his cheek. Izuku, you're welcome. Well, shall we go in? Momo, yes. They paid for the tickets and went to have fun. First they went to the roller coaster, where Momo rode with her hands up, shouting woohoo, and Izuku just watched his girlfriend have fun. Then they went on a steeper roller coaster because Momo wanted a thrill, but then she regretted it a lot. During the ride, Momo turned green, so when it was all over, she ran to the closest toilet. When Momo got better, they went to the arcade. They played a large number of games. Usually Momo always won because Izuku was almost never in the arcade. When they left the arcade, Momo wanted to ask Izuku to sit on the Ferris wheel, but then announced the closure of the park, so they began to leave. A lot of time passed before they entered the amusement park, so they decided to go to the cafe. Izuku ordered steak and coffee for himself, while Momo ordered herself a salad and green tea. When the food was served, they ate and began to talk on different topics. They would still be chatting if Momo hadn't paid attention to time. 10:57 p.m. Momo, Izu? She said, showing him time. Izuku? Look. It seems we are too carried away. I don't think they will pat us on the head if we arrive at such a time. It's too late already. Momo, so what should we do? Izuku, I suggest spending a night in a hotel. There are no other options. As soon as Momo heard the words about the hotel, her head was filled with dirty thoughts about how she and Izuku were doing this. She blushed immediately. Izuku, hey Momo, is everything alright? Momo, eh? Oh, Izuku. Why, yes, everything is alright. They paid for their food and headed to the hotel. They rented a room for the night and went there. Inside there was a large bed, next to it there was a shower and a toilet, in general everything you need. Izuku, well, here we are. I hope you enjoyed our date. Momo, Izu, it was the best day in my life, thank you very much, she said, kissing him on the lips. During the kiss, Izuku took Momo by the waist and raised her by the legs, and Momo wrapped her arms around his neck. When their lips parted, they looked at each other, and suddenly a very hot feeling flared up between them. Very dirty thoughts began to enter their heads. They both blushed, but were no longer able to restrain their secret desires. Izuku, Momo. Momo, Izu. Lemon skipped Reddit on Wattpad. Izuku, well, let's go wash ourselves. Momo just nodded. She tried to get out of bed, but as soon as she got to her feet, she immediately fell, but Izuku caught her. He carried her into the shower and held her so that she could wash herself. Since his hands were busy, Momo helped him wash. After that, they headed to the bed and covered themselves with blankets. Izuku, I think it was good experience. Momo, yeah. We were lucky that rooms in this hotel are soundproofed, otherwise I can't imagine how many people would gather outside the door because of my moans. She said with blush. Izuku, yeah. Momo hugged Izuku with one hand. Momo, I think we need some sleep. After all, we did this almost all night. Izuku, totally agree with you. Once again they kissed and fell asleep. Chapter 7. Sport Festival Part 1. It was noon. At this time, Izuku woke up first. He opened his eyes and the first thing he saw was Momo, who was sleeping peacefully. She snuggled up to her boyfriend to keep warm. Izuku began to stroke her hair. He did this until Momo woke up. Momo. NGH, good morning. Izuku. Good morning. When Momo woke up completely, she noticed that she and Izuku were completely naked. And then Momo remembered the events of that night and blushed. Izuku. How did you sleep? Momo. After our fun, I slept better than ever. They lay a little on the bed hugging each other and then decided it was time to go back to the dorms. Momo tried to get out of bed, but her legs were still shaking. She could stand on her feet, but she walked as if she had only learned this. Then she fell on the bed. Momo. I think I need help. Izuku got out of bed, put on boxers and handed Momo her clothes. They both got dressed and after a few minutes they left the hotel. Izuku carried Momo on his back while she rested. They examined the part of the city that they flew by. And so after an hour they came to the dorms. Everyone. Where have you been? Izuku. Not so loud. I was at home. Mom asked me to stay overnight. You should have seen her face at that moment. Mina. And what about her? Izuku. I don't know. She asked me to come after her, but when we walked, she suddenly fell and lost consciousness. Apparently from overwork. Mina. I will believe you. For now. After everything calmed down, Izuku carried Momo into her room. There she stopped pretending. Momo. Sigh, it was close. Izuku. Yeah. Okay, I'll probably go. Momo. Thank you for yesterday. So now we will go 2 weeks later. During this time, Momo learned to create things much faster and also learned new ones. Momo also asked Izuku to train her. These were very harsh days for her. Every day she had to run several kilometers a day. Then she did push-ups for about 2 minutes without a break. However, her training was nothing compared to Izuku's training. Every day he ran through the entire earth several times. Then he did push-ups for 5 hours. Now all the classes were in the waiting rooms. They chatted with each other, prepared themselves mentally or did nothing at all. Hiroshima. I'm so nervous. Today I will participate in an event that I watched on TV as a child. Mina. This will be fun. While class 1 was chatting among themselves, Todoroki decided to approach Izuku, who was sitting on the floor and meditated. Todoroki. Midoriya. Izuku opened his eyes and looked at Todoroki. Izuku. What do you want? Todoroki. I know that in USJ you were able to defeat a creature that couldn't defeat the whole class, but I believe that I am stronger than you and that I will win this festival. After that the room was completely silent. The only sounds you could hear was Momo, who struggled to hold back her laughter. Hiroshima. Todoroki, cool down. We are not enemies, but friends. Todoroki. I entered this school to become a hero, not make fry. Izuku. Todoroki, do you really think that just words are enough for you to defeat me? You yourself said that I was able to defeat a creature that couldn't defeat the whole class 1A, including you. And now you're telling me that you're stronger than me? Don't make me laugh. These words angered Todoroki. Todoroki. Shut up, you piece of shit. You were able to defeat that creature only because we severely wounded it. Izuku. Oh, do you think so? Well, in that case. Izuku got up from the floor. Izuku. Hit me. Todoroki. What? Izuku. I said hit me. With all your might. Todoroki stood in confusion for a couple of seconds and then froze his hand and hit Izuku in the face. However, Izuku didn't even flinch. Izuku. Are you done? Todoroki was in shock. His attack didn't even scratch Izuku. Todoroki. Bastard. Todoroki wanted to hit him again, but suddenly he flew into the wall. Some boys ran to get him out of the wall, but when they approached him, they saw a trace of a punch. They looked at Izuku and saw how his hand let off steam. Izuku. I told you to hit me once. I didn't tell you to hit me twice. After this, Izuku sat on a bench and began to wait for the festival to begin. Momo went up to him and sat next to him. Momo. Do you think he will wake up quickly? Izuku. If he does not wake up before the festival begins, I will definitely consider him a weakling. Momo. Come on. Don't be so angry with people. Izuku. You don't understand. A strong warrior is not interested in wimps. When a wimp calls a strong to fight, it's humiliating. And exactly the same with Todoroki. He lost consciousness only because of one of my punch, which was not even at full power. If the enemy cannot give a worthy rebuff, then there is no point in taking him seriously. This is a waste of energy. After that, all classes went to the stadium. The judge of today's festival was Pro Hero 18+. Midnight. After all classes went to the stadium, Midnight called Izuku to the stage. He had to give an inspirational speech. Izuku. I will not drag out for a long time. All I want to say is that everyone should give their all. I want a real challenge. I hope that weaklings like you will not disappoint me. After that, the whole crowd of students became angry. Iida facepalmed and Bakugo smirked. Student 1. Buck you. Student 2. Do you think you're better than us? Izuku smirked. He pulled his hand forward and then dropped the microphone to the floor. After that, everyone in the stadium, including the audience, felt incredible pressure. Many lost consciousness and some were crushed into the ground. The only one who wasn't affected was Izuku. Midnight. What was that? Izuku. Nothing. Midnight. Oh, okay. The first event will be a race, but this is not an ordinary race. There will be many obstacles in your way, so be careful. All students prepared to run. Izuku. Good luck, Momo. Momo. Good luck to you too. After Midnight announced the start of the race, all students ran ahead. Or almost everything. At the start was only Izuku. He sat in a meditation pose and began to meditate in the air. Present Mick. And so, all the students started the race. Let's wish them luck. Wait, there is only one student left at the start. This is Izuku Midoriya from class 1. Is he meditating? Bad words addressed to Izuku were heard from the stands, but he ignored them. Instead, he continued to meditate. Meanwhile, Momo and the rest ran through the first part of the race. Todoroki was the first at the moment. Mineta decided to use his quirk to hang on Todoroki and safely reach the finish line. However, when he almost jumped to Todoroki, he was hit by a huge robot. All the students were blocked by the huge robots that were on the entrance exam. Todoroki. Is that all? Todoroki froze most of the robots and ran on. The rest were glad that they did not have to destroy the robots, but they were upset because they needed to somehow climb them. Momo created a pogo stick and jumped over the robots and ran on. Next was the canyon. Present Mick. So we got to the next stage of the race, canyon, be careful and don't fall down. Momo created a hang glider and with the help of some jumps, she could easily pass the canyon. Bakugo used explosions and flew the entire canyon and Todoroki created a bridge of ice. So that the rest did not pass so easily, he melted the bridge every time. And then came the final stage of the race. Minefield. When Momo almost reached the minefield, she felt extra weight on herself. This really slowed her down. At this time, a couple of students overtook her. They tried to overtake Bakugo or Todoroki, but they were either blown up or frozen. Bakugo. I will come first. Todoroki. We'll see. Bakugo and Todoroki began a battle between themselves while they ran to the finish line. Todoroki tried to freeze Bakugo, but he exploded the ice and tried to attack Todoroki, who put an ice wall on every Bakugo's explosion. However, Bakugo decided to take advantage of the fact that they were in a minefield and blew up one mine, because of which all mines exploded, which allowed him to break forward. Remained 50 meters to the finish line. Bakugo runs at full speed. And when a couple of meters was left to the finish line, time seemed to slow down for him. He turned his head and saw Izuku, who broke ahead and ran to the finish line first. Present Mick. So, the winner of the obstacle race is Katsuki Baku. Wait, this cannot be Izuku Midoriya from Class 101. After that, all the spectators were in shock. He ran to the finish in a couple of seconds. Then Bakugo came running, then Todoroki. Momo came running on the 10th. She was tired. Momo. I did it. But why is it so hard for me to move? Momo turned around and was able to see someone on her back. Momo. Mineta, get off me. Momo tried to throw him off, but he clung to her clothes. Momo. Someone get him off me. Class 1 girls tried to take him off of their friend, but Mineta clung tightly to her clothes thanks to his quirk. Mineta. If you pull me away from her so much, her clothes will tear. Momo started to cry. The girls couldn't do anything. Mineta grinned while Momo was sad. However, suddenly they heard a crackle of bones and Mineta also felt behind him a powerful and sinister aura. Get off her. Now. Mineta slowly turned around and saw Izuku, who was looking at him angrily. Mineta. Hi Midoriya. It's a good weather TT today. Izuku. If you don't get off her right now, I'm afraid even All Might and all heroes in the world will not be able to protect you from what I will do with you. Mineta. If you TT try to take MMOO off her CC clothes will TT tear. Izuku grabbed Mineta by the neck and squeezed slightly. Mineta. Choking. Okay, I'm getting down from her now. He got off Momo and wanted to run away, but suddenly Izuku grabbed his arm. Izuku. Wait a minute. Although you got off her, you need to be punished for it. Mineta. PP please don't kill me. Izuku. Oh no, I won't kill you. Instead, I will give Momo the right to choose what will happen to you. The pervert from Class 1 looked at Momo. Mineta. Yayoi Rozu, I beg you, have mercy. Momo. After what you have done, I cannot forgive you. Especially after you tried to touch my chest, which no one except Izuku has the right to touch. Izuku, how far do you think you can throw things? Izuku. Let's find out. Momo created a rope and Izuku tied Mineta and then he grabbed the pervert by the head and threw him into the air. Mineta begged Izuku not to do this, but he was merciless. A minute later, everyone heard a scream from the opposite side. Everyone looked into the sky and saw how something or someone flew towards the stadium. It was Mineta. As soon as he realized that he was flying straight to Izuku and the others, he began to beg them to catch him. However, instead of catching him, they simply stepped aside so that he would not fall on them. As a result, he had to kiss the ground at a speed far exceeding the speed of the fastest rocket. Momo. I think you overdid it. Izuku. You think so? Izuku walked over to Mineta and pulled him out of the ground. All his teeth remained on the ground. Izuku. Momo, do you have glue? Momo. No, why do you need it? Izuku. Well. Izuku turned Mineta towards the girls. As soon as they saw that his teeth were all knocked out, they smiled. Momo. Leave it as it is. Izuku. Okay. Izuku left Mineta on the ground. In the end, everyone else reached the finish line and Midnight began to speak. Midnight. So the first 42 students will go to the next stage. Please pay attention to the panel. On it are written the places of all 42 students. Also near your places are indicated your points. However, there is one thing. There is number first place. The fact is that we decided to evaluate first place ourselves. And in the end, we rated first place at 10 million points. As Midnight said these words, all eyes turned toward Izuku. They looked at him as if they wanted him dead. Izuku. Finally a worthy challenge. Everyone was surprised how calm he was in such a situation. Izuku. Do you think I'm scared? When I arrived here after a long absence, no one could even force me to pretend that I was fighting at 100%. If you want to make me your enemy, I don't mind. In fact, I will be glad. Midnight. So the next event of today's festival will be the cavalry battle. You need to assemble a team of a maximum of 5 people, after which you must pick up the headbands with your combined number of points that you earned in the obstacle race. After that, everyone began to assemble teams. Although Izuku was with the highest number of points, everyone still wanted him to be in their team. He always said, "Get lost." Momo, meanwhile, was looking for Izuku among the crowd until Todoroki approached her. "Todoroki. Yaoirozu. Momo. What do you need, Todoroki-san?" "Todoroki. I wanted you to join my team." Momo. "Sorry, but I want to join Izuku." Todoroki. "Think it over. Your quirk will be very useful to us. He has the most points. He will be the main goal." Momo. "I have long decided. I will join him." Todoroki. "Tch. As you want." After that, she went on to search for Izuku. A minute later she found him. He stood against the wall and seemed to be asleep. Momo. Izuku. "Yes." Momo. "May I join your team?" Izuku. "Sure." Momo climbed onto Izuku's back and they began to wait for the start. Midnight. Get ready, start. All teams immediately ran towards Izuku and Momo. Izuku. Hold on. When most of the teams were near Izuku and Momo, Izuku began to release his energy, which caused a very strong wind. Some teams just blew away from the stadium, while the rest somehow managed to cling to something. The wind was so strong that the stadium began to crack. Finally the wind stopped. Most teams were pressed against the wall. Izuku. "Hey Momo, are you okay?" Momo began to punch him on the head. Momo. "Idiot, I could be blown away. Did you even think that you are not alone here?" Izuku. "Take it easy. If you were blown away, I would have caught you at all costs." Meanwhile, most of the remaining teams recovered and they again ran into battle. They fought among themselves and didn't even try to attack Izuku and Momo. The only 2 teams who wanted to take 10 million from Izuku's team were Bakugo's team and Todoroki's team. Todoroki tried to freeze them and Bakugo tried to blow them up. Momo. "Hey Izu. Can I do something?" "Can I?" Izuku. "How can I say no to such cute eyes?" Momo. "Thank you." Momo began to create 2 bombs that can be put in both hands. Momo. Izu, throw 1 bomb to Bakugo and the second to Todoroki. Izuku. Understood. Izuku did as Momo asked. Both teams saw this and immediately began to step aside. And not in vain. Both bombs exploded and both teams were hit by a shock wave. The explosion wasn't so powerful as to kill, but it was enough to inflict serious injuries. Izuku. Impressive. Both teams somehow managed to get to their feet and continue the game. Todoroki began to use his ice, and even for some period of time, his left side was covered with fire and Bakugo attacked with explosions. Bakugo. "Deku, I will never lose to such a third-rate bastard like you." Todoroki. "I will defeat you, Midoriya." Izuku. "Momo, I have an idea." Momo. "Yes." Momo leaned toward Izuku and began to listen to him. During their conversation, Momo began to giggle. Momo. "Are you serious?" Izuku. "Yes." Momo created a small pillow and then took out a small feather from there. She began to tickle his nose. In the end it happened. Izuku. Achoo. The shock wave almost blew away everyone in the stands. The teams of Todoroki and Bakugo suffered the most severe blow. They were instantly thrown into the wall. Momo created ropes and held on to Izuku with all her might. Momo. "Wow. I thought you were joking." Izuku. "Everything is serious in battle." A minute later, Midnight announced the end of the match. Midnight. "It was an interesting game. Everyone did a great job. Now I will name 4 teams that were able to get to the next and last stage of today's festival. In 4th place is the Shinso team, in 3rd place is the Todoroki team, and 2nd is the Bakugo team, and finally, in the 1st place is the Midoriya team. These teams go to the next stage and the next stage will be one-on-one fights. Fights will begin in half an hour, but for now, students can relax. Chapter 8. Sports Festival Part 2. All students were gathered 30 minutes later. "I hope you all had a good rest because the next event promised to be very hard," Midnight announced, and then a screen appeared behind Midnight and after some time, she named the next Chusen event. 1v1 battles. The crowd went wild in awaiting of this event, but then Ejiro raised his hand. "I'm withdrawing." Most of students looked at him. "I know that this event can make heroes pay attention on me, but I know that I may have no chances against everyone that will be participating in this. This is not only for my pride as a student but also as a martial artist." Everyone were quiet for some time. But then people on tribunes began to cheer loudly. Midnight sighed. Masahiro Ejiro is no longer participating in the sport festival, and somewhere in the crowd, Izuku Midoriya had a slight smile. Momo saw this and smirked. "Did my eyes fool me? Or have you smiled for real?" she said while giggling. He didn't let his pride as warrior to get in vain. "I respect someone like him." That was his response. Didn't know you could say something like that. Whatever. After some time Izuku Midoriya and Hitachi Shinso were called to the stage. Momo came up to Izuku and smiled. Just don't kill that guy, okay? Izuku cracked his knuckles. This fight will end quickly. Then Izuku slowly moved to the stage. But then he was stopped by Ejiro. What do you want? That guy Shinso, be careful with him. No matter what, just don't answer his questions. Otherwise you might lose. Izuku simply nodded and then walked to the stage. After every step, the crowd was getting louder and louder. Welcome back everyone again, I hope you rested well, because this event will be the most awesome and will absolutely make you remember it for a long time. What point of talking too much? Let's get in the action. The first fight will be between Hitachi Shinso and the guy who almost destroyed the whole stadium with only one sneeze move, Izuku Midoriya. They both walked to the stage. After that the crowd went wild. Izuku carefully looked at his opponent, examining him. He can't really be seen as some danger, but he still didn't know what Shinso could do. Midnight coughed slightly and then began to explain the rules. I'm going to explain something. The fight will go on until one of opponents won't be able to continue the fight or until one of them won't go over that line. No time limit. Okay, for now all I can do is to wish both of you good luck, just don't kill each other, and now let the fight begin. Hitachi smirked and then instead of fighting Izuku, he just began to talk. So tell me Midoriya, what kind of quirk you have? I assume it's very powerful. Izuku was staying quiet. He knew that if he answered him, he could lose. But deep inside, he was really interested about what could happen if he answered his question. Hitachi decided to ask a few more questions, maybe it should help. Why so quiet? Are you afraid that if I know your quirk, I might know its weakness? Again, he didn't answer. It was already pretty annoying. But Izuku still didn't answer. Damn it, why does he stays quiet? Probably that monkey told him about my quirk. What should I do? I have no chances against that killing machine in the fair fight. Maybe I should try to enrage him. But there's a huge risk. Shinso thought about it for some seconds and decided. Well, it's now or never. I wonder why that girl chose someone like you. Maybe she is as dumb as you, so that you can't easily answer a simple question. Izuku clenched his fist but stayed quiet. Shinso began to panic slightly. Izuku was really annoyed but also was really curious. He could have ended this fight in a few seconds. But still he wants to know what is his quirk. So just from the interest, he answered. Fine, just bring it on. I won. Suddenly Izuku froze on his place. He didn't move or anything like that. Shinso smirked and then said to him to leave the stage. For some reason he did as was told and began to leave the stage. On tribunes, Ejiro facepalmed. He warned him that any word can be dangerous. Damn it, I told him not to answer. Some of Class 1 members began to worry. But Momo was staying calm. She just grinned. She knew who would win from the start. Just watch. Suddenly Izuku stopped. Shinso looked at him questionably. Are you deaf? I said walk out of the stage. Instead of walking further to the end of the stage, Izuku slowly turned around and glared at Shinso. And what if I want? What? How? Your quirk is very strong, but not against me. Shinso began to panic very much. It was the first time his quirk didn't work against someone. But now Izuku freely speaks with him. Why? Why my quirk is not working? Everything is simple. In a blink of eye Izuku disappeared and appeared right in front of Shinso. He didn't even have time to react. Izuku was too fast for him. Where's he? He just disappeared. But then he heard a voice behind him. I'm stronger, that's all. Then Izuku tapped Shinso's forehead and he was thrown away. But then Izuku quickly got next to Shinso and lightly touched his shoulder. By that force Shinso was slammed into the ground. He immediately passed out from pain. Hitachi Shinso is no longer can continue the fight. The winner is Izuku Midoriya. Meanwhile Shinso came to his senses again. He saw Izuku who was slowly walking away from the stage. He tried to reach for him but didn't have strength to stand up. Izuku just looked at him, very disappointed. And Mashirao said that it was really dangerous. Disappointing. Then Izuku began to walk away. But when Izuku was about to go to tribunes, he heard a voice. Wait. Izuku stopped. Then he looked behind himself and saw Shinso trying to reach for him. How can become someone like you? How can I become as strong as you? I'm not someone you should look up to. That's all I have to say. After that Izuku left the scene and Shinso was carried to Recovery Girl. He sat near Momo and crossed his hands like usual. Momo snuggled to him while smiling. You did great. For a second I thought that it was over, but to be honest, I knew you could do it. This made Izuku chuckle slightly. Then Izuku focused on the next fight. It was between Shoto Todoroki and Shiro Hanta. Fight. Shiro immediately tried to wrap Shoto in his tapes to prevent him from moving and to throw him off the stage. But when Todoroki was tied, he glared at Shiro and suddenly created a very huge glacier that freezed a huge part of the stage. Of course Zero was captured there. Can you continue the fight, Hanta? Do I look like I can? Zero Hanta lost the battle. The winner is Todoroki Shoto. I'm sorry. I was too angry. Todoroki looked in Izuku's direction and glared at him. He clenched his fist and slowly walked from the stage. Izuku was also glaring at him. They both thought about the same thing. I'm going to win and you can't stop me. Now it was time for Momo's fight. She was kinda nervous but tried to cheer herself up. Then Izuku walked up to her. Good luck. Momo smiled cutely. Thank you, Izu. Then she and Tokoyami walked to the stage. The final fight to quarterfinals will be between a participant of the Hero Course Momo Yaoyorozu and a participant of Hero Course Fumikage Tokoyami. They both looked at each other with determined look. Okay Momo, you can do it. Izuku believes in you, your parents too. I hope my training was worth it. Then Midnight announced the start of the fight. Tokoyami immediately summoned his dark shadow and started attacking Momo, trying to push her from the stage. She dodged to the side and rushed at him, trying to hit him. But Dark Shadow protected him from the punch and pushed her away. Then Dark Shadow began to attack Momo with its claws. She tried to dodge, but still got hit. Damn it. Then Momo created a flamethrower and tried to burn Dark Shadow. It worked and for some time it was paralyzed. Then she rushed at Tokoyami and tried to hit him, but he dodged and with a strong kick, he pushed her away. Then they basically had hand-to-hand combat. Meanwhile Dark Shadow recovered and began to attack Momo at high speed. She created a huge shield just before she got hit. Dark Shadow was pushing her to the line. And with one final strong attack Momo was blown to the line. She was about to fall. But then she stopped in midair. Boaya Yaoyorozu stopped falling. She is flying. Momo smirked to herself. Then she slowly stood on the ground and then rushed at Tokoyami. Dark Shadow tried to hit her, but she dodged and then punched Tokoyami in stomach, making him spit some saliva. Before he could react, Momo punched him again in the face, making him lose balance and was about to fall from the stage. But then Dark Shadow quickly grabbed onto the ground to prevent Tokoyami's fall. Thank you Izuku. My training is paying off. Damn, it's pretty hard to control it. I can't even imagine how hard it is for Izuku to control all of his energy. Tokoyami was surprised at first, but then he immediately focused on Momo. She tried to punch him again, but he pushed her away using Dark Shadow. What happened to her? Her punches are more heavy and they're much stronger than her usual punches. And she herself became faster. Then Tokoyami remembered her first punch and her moves. It could be hardly seen, but then he remembered that she was basically coated in a weak yellow light. I see she probably has another quirk she never told us about. Can this be the same quirk Midoriya-sen has? I must find out. Then Tokoyami rushed at Momo. He used Dark Shadow again, but this time it didn't attack at its fullest. But in exchange for the strength of attack, Dark Shadow became more aggressive and fast, making it harder for Momo to dodge. Maybe I should try this. Momo created a gun, but without bullets. You can ask why. When she pressed the trigger, slight energy beam shot from there at Tokoyami. It wasn't enough to kill, but it was enough to win. When the energy bullet was touching Tokoyami, it exploded, making slight explosions. Meanwhile Izuku was smirking on tribunes. Impressive, she learned slight Kai control basically in a few weeks and learned how to channel it. Very impressive. But she clearly underestimating him. Dark Shadow tried to protect Tokoyami, but it was in vain. Bullets were piercing through it and were getting to Tokoyami. He was slowly pushed right. When Momo was about to win, Dark Shadow began to scream, creating slight shockwaves, pushing Momo aside. Creation quirk user looked at Tokoyami. He was looking really enraged and the Dark Shadow covered him, making something like an armor around him. You will regret making me do this. In the blink of eye, Tokoyami disappeared and reappeared right before Momo. She created a shield to protect herself. Just in time, because Tokoyami punched her. She got thrown to the end of the stage. But she created a hook and slammed it on the ground. Then she tried to hit him, channeling her Kai in her first, but he just grabbed her hand. This punch didn't even make him flinch. How? Give up already, otherwise I'll be forced to hurt you more than I should. Momo tried to punch him, but when her punch reached his face, he didn't even flinch. Tokoyami slightly cracked his neck. As you wish. Tokoyami raised his hand. It began to glow and was coated in tiny purple lightnings. Dark Shadow moved its limbs to Momo, immobilizing her, so she just looked helplessly at how he was about to punch her. It's over. Tokoyami was about to punch Momo. This blow was about to kill her for sure. Izuku was already ready to jump from tribunes to protect her, but it wasn't necessary anymore. Tokoyami stopped right near her face and slowly moved his arm away. His shadow cloak went off and he slowly backed away. Momo Yaoyorozu is out of bounds. The winner is Fumikage Tokoyami. Momo didn't understand what happened until she saw that her leg has crossed the line. What? I lost. Already. Tokoyami already left on tribunes while Momo was still standing there in utter shock. And only after almost a minute she left the stage. She came back to Izuku but was really sad about her losing the fight. When Tokuyami stated to fight seriously, she had almost no chances against him. Izuku is going to be very disappointed. She just sat near him quietly. But what she didn't expect is for him to just pat her head. She looked at him, he was smiling. You did great against him. Momo looked at him in slight shock and was about to cry. But I lost, I had not even a single chance. The most important thing here is how you showed yourself. And you did very good against him. Then Izuku looked at her seriously. But next time, don't try your luck. Otherwise who knows what could happen. You got it. She nodded quickly. In the end, fights for the quarter-final battles ended. Izuku Midoriya, Shoto Todoroki, Ibara Shiozaki, Iida Tenya, Mina Ishido, Tokoyami Fumikage, Katsuki Bakugo, Kirishima Ijiru are moving to the quarter-finals. And the first fight of quarter-finals will be Izuku Midoriya vs Shoto Todoroki. They both walked to the stage, giving glares to each other. The floor around Todoroki slowly began to freeze, while the ground around Izuku began to crack. Fight. And so the first battle of quarter-finals began. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown in left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.